YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Legendary back. Okay, no, I'm not really the heir of Legendary because I don't play it much and I'm not the best at it. So I put out a video to, I'm recording this the day that the video released, and I have a lot of comments from you all that I want to get to. I figured I got to speak my mind about Legendary. Seems fair that you all would get a chance to speak your mind, and you did in the comments, and I appreciate all the people who went to the comments. So I'm going to call this a Legendary follow-up, or we'll call it Legendary Clown College grad school, or I don't know, something like that, grad degree, because we're coming back and revisiting Clown College, which is what I jokingly called the Legendary AI. First of all, there was actually one comment that I wanted to get to first, and like I said, I got to say all the things that I thought in my video, and I'll kind of just be playing in the background as best I can in between, like reading comments and going through it. So let me find this first one here, and we'll get right into it. You know, so the comment I was looking for is actually, I think it was from Zaven. I may have the name wrong, but I can't find it now. Like, I don't see it, so I don't know if his comment somehow got removed for some reason. I don't know why it would have, because I had put a favorite on it and responded to him, and then he responded to me again, but now I don't see the comment. So but I'll go ahead and call out the comment, and essentially he wanted to point out some like criticism, and this was good criticism because it was correct. He said that I didn't necessarily do a great job of separating the fact that there's different difficulties and that Legendary is a campaign difficulty, whereas the battle difficulty is very hard. That is an important point, and I didn't portray that very well in the last video because I'm kind of conflating the two things into one. I actually don't have as much problem with Legendary difficulty on the campaign side, and I think I mentioned that at the end of the video, that the campaign difficulty settings really weren't what I had the biggest problem with. It's really the battle difficulty and the battle AI. So I think that was a very appropriate and good criticism from Zaven, and definitely made me think about, yeah, I should have represented that a little bit better when I was in there, because those two things are separate. So yes, my main complaint when playing on quote-unquote Legendary, when I say Legendary, basically in my mind that means I put both settings. I'm going to put the campaign difficulty to Legendary, and I'm going to put the battle on very hard. And essentially what that does is it creates supposedly the most challenging environment. So great point. I agree, and a good way to start the video. So again, my disagreement was mainly with the way that things run in battle. So again, hopefully that makes sense, and great clarification. Anyway, let's get to some of these other comments here. There was a bunch of good ones. All right, I've got to get some skill points set out here for Tyrion. I think I was working on the Lightning Strike capability and then the Heaven's Mage here. Let's see. Like I said, this one has been a little boring to me because the auto-resolve has been pretty kind to me in a lot of battles where it probably shouldn't have, so I was able to auto-resolve them, which again, that makes the campaign, you know, a little less interesting because a lot of times you don't want to fight because maybe the auto-resolve is just going to hand it to you easier. And then also, I've also had issues where the auto-resolve is like overly unfair to me. It's rare that I find it where it feels like it's in a good balance. So the auto-resolve would probably be something that needs to be addressed anyway. But yeah, enough of me talking. Let's get to some of your comments. Dr. Ripper says, Legendary/normal is the best difficulty in my opinion. Legendary, very hard is torturous, which is what I'm playing right here, by the way. He says, the AI behavior complaints are more about the behavior of the AI in general than the difficulty level. If CA spent the time and money to make improvements to the AI behave less stupidly, they would probably just apply it to all difficulty levels. That's potentially true, Dr. Ripper, and it's a fair point, because at least at current, I believe he's correct. The AI mostly doesn't act very different, especially in battle, at the different difficulty levels. I think it will sometimes act just a little different. So like, I think they're a little less prone to letting you sit back and like pick at them with missiles from a distance. I think sometimes their leaders will dodge and shift under cannon fire and stuff like that. So I do think that they are at times, like I said, a little less prone to that type of nonsense. But agreed. So good point. Thank you for sharing it. I'm not going to counter or tell you, you know, other than like, hey, good point or something like that. I'm not going to say anything else because I want you all to have your word in here and not have this be like me taking your comment and acting like I'm trying to talk over the top of it. Barry Evans says, this is not just a problem on Legendary, it's across all game difficulties. The behavior does make sense for some factions, such as Beastmen, Norska, as you would expect them to be skirmishy, raiding coastal settlements, etc. as that's the type of faction that they are, but you could definitely change behavior of the other major factions the way you're saying. That's an interesting thought. I like that. I hadn't considered that. That maybe the behavior is more dependent on the faction, and perhaps even the lore that goes along with that faction, and that could certainly make things more interesting as well. Maybe those really berserk-type factions in Legendary would be the really scary ones because they just come at you like crazy, like maybe like Greenskins or something like that, whereas other factions maybe try different tactics. I don't know. I like that comment, Barry. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm going to end this turn after we spend some cash here on the buildings. I've got a hero. I have a mage that is working on bringing up that army. It looks like the Norskins have sent their army back to Trelinia here. We'll have to deal with them soon enough. All right, let's get some more here. By the Jesus says, or by the Jesus, however it's here, he says it would be nice feature if they adjusted the AI behavior depending on the faction. So this sounds like it's somewhat in line with what Barry had thought. They probably already do this, but it really doesn't feel like it. They may. It may be a little different. I don't know. That's an excellent question. Says, for example, I feel it's fine for Norska to go and raid coastal defenseless cities. You know, obviously he's thinking that feels like kind of loreful for them, but Greenskins amass armies and go and charge the player head on and seek a fight, raid and conquer until they're defeated, have order factions work to conquer, defend, and build up the cities, then return to slowly push the player with their armies. Again, great comment. Great comment. Appreciate you sharing it with us. It is fun to read these ideas. This is part of why I did this and asked you all for your feedback, because I actually do value it. I liked reading this. I was trying to get to some of these in-between stuff at work today. Redeemer115 says, I believe the devs for the Age of Empire remasters have been improving the AI in those games. They are more responsive to what the player is doing, and they even mimic common tactics that the players do, i.e. fast castle, fast imperial, etc. So in theory, it should be possible for CA to program the AI to mimic some of the more basic tactics that players use in Total War. I'm not sure if they already do, but it would be good if in the campaign and the AI started to compose armies that play to their faction's strengths on Legendary difficulty. It could even program the rare Doom stack. That is a very interesting comment as well, and I know what you're talking about because I've played a fair bit of the Age of Empires 3 remastered. I've only played a little bit of Age of Empires 4, but yes, the AI did and continues to get better in that game over time. It's not amazing, like it's not the best thing I've ever seen, but I know what you mean. As I've played against the AI there, it certainly does a better job, I think, of giving you a fun battle than the Total War AI does. Okay, they want me to join their war against Grombrindal. Not right now, so I'm going to refuse that. So another excellent comment. Thank you, Redeemer. Will Giblet says, these are the things that make me feel vaguely smart. Definitely agree, multiple forces seeking major settlements and your armies would be better. So much of the game is auto-resolve because it's full stack versus a minor settlement garrison. The big battles are where the challenge really is. I do love me some big battles. Thank you for the comment, Will. Definitely appreciate it. And for sharing your thoughts. Super64 says, I've always held this opinion. Actually, I'll get to this comment in just a moment. Let's go ahead and play a turn, and what I'll do is try and read these comments on the turn in, and we'll try and make this relatively quick so I can kind of balance some gameplay along with some... We've got raiders coming all along the coast. Like I said, they'll come raid. They're not really going to hurt me, but I have worked too long and hard to get an opportunity to wipe out the Slanesh faction. So I want them gone. Like, I want them out of here. Bellicor as host. So I said I would like it if they started amassing armies on me, and they're kind of doing it here. It's the first time I've seen it. I don't know what this graphical glitch is here either. I've not ever seen that before, so I don't know if that's something introduced in the patch or what's going on, because CA did release a small patch. I heard some people saying they were having crashes during multiplayer campaign battles and stuff too, so hopefully that gets dealt with. Let's work on Lightning Strike here as well. Level up my Noble. And Noble, let's see, we can do Knowledge of High Elf Affairs. Man's Affairs. Wizardman Affairs. Let's do this knowledge of high elf affairs here. Alright, that should work. And then my army's getting pretty elite here. Let's head over to Tyrion. I think we've wiped out Marathi officially. That's good news. So there's really no one to worry about on this flank at the moment because the Heralds of Ariel are fighting up against Grombrindal. I don't have time for particularly have a beef with Grombrindal, but he doesn't like me, and we very well could end up fighting him. And if we do, the force that I have is wholly inappropriate for taking on the Dawi. So I would rather not end up in a big brawl with Grombrindal, but I mean, he's not going to like us because he's Grombrindal. And yeah, that's just how that's going to go. Let's start building up to tier 3 minor settlements here so that we can get some work done. Let's see, Calidor. We're building there. Trace. Looks like Trace needs some work. We got defenses on the way in. We do have trade goods we're not taking advantage of there yet. And then I like to put this Elven embassy there. It says entertainment buildings, so I guess this one improves those by 30%. Which would only be like, I mean, that's not all that good. Especially if that's the only entertainment building. I don't know. Alright, whatever. Let's build the embassy here because I like that it gives us extra tradable resources throughout the entire campaign here. We've already got growth coming from these ports. It's a decent little boost. Let's go make sure that this settlement's not about to get wrecked, though. It very well could for the next couple of turns because we got some things around. I think it'll be okay. I don't know. I may end up eating my words here, but we'll get ready to push that.
Dispatch me.
Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Tyrion, skill point. We can finish lightning strike, so Tyrion can now lightning strike. It's good news. We really need to get Tyrion equipped with a proper army, and I don't have the recruiting over here to do so. Start that. Outpost upgrade available. I'm not interested. Okay, in the turn, let's get some more comments here. Actually, let's see, where was I? I think it was on Super 6-4. He says, I've always held this opinion, and it's why I installed the Darth mods. Or actually, hang on. Yeah. Okay, this is one. I've always had this opinion, it's why I installed the Darth mods in the older Total War games. Suddenly stupid, jumbled armies became coherent armies capable of utilizing the tools at its disposal. It made the game more difficult, and it made the battles masterpieces to play. I don't want bullet sponge enemies that can out-attack my troops via special modifiers and then be told that it's harder. So there's a little read more thing here I gotta get on here. So he's got a pretty big comment here. It says, instead of 1 unit of spearmen being needed to attack some cavalry, it's now 2. More so breaks the immersion rather than gets me off on a wow, how difficult kind of vibe. I'd rather need 2 units because the first one got pulled out of position by cavalry and flanked by infantry, not because hard mode actually means the exact same thing as normal, except you're going to lose more units. So he goes on just a little bit further with this, and that's basically the gist of it. I think it's an excellent point. It's obviously how he's feeling about playing the game, and I can honestly say that I feel pretty much the same. I've never tried the Darth mods, though, and that makes me really curious then. I know there's mods out here for, like, army recruitment and other things. Maybe I just need to get a few more of these mods. So I'm going to be taking a look around at some of those. Excellent comment. Thank you. Daniel B says, I totally agree with you. Legendary gives the AI buffs, but it doesn't make the AI behave better. Yep, definitely kind of the mentality that I was thinking and what I'm seeing as I play. So thank you, Daniel. Drago Music says, on the Discord, they stated that the 2.2 update, there are going to be a lot of changes to AI, including better building prioritization and aggression, settlement behavior, diplomacy, and general difficulty application. With that said, I agree with it's not great, and it's unfortunate about the battle AI not being addressed. Thank you for letting me know about the patch update. Actually, I haven't had a chance to read too much of that yet, so definitely appreciate you help bring me up to speed. I'm very busy at work, and I often don't get to catch this stuff in a timely manner. Wow, boy. The world just showed up on our doorstep, and we've got a lot going on. We're going to need another army out and about. Is this Bellicor running away from us? It is. That's not very thematic to have Bellicor run away from you, is it?
Defender of the Ever Queen.
I think we should take the opportunity to kick his butt while we're here. I think he's pretty tough. But let's give him a fight. While this is loading up, it'll give me a chance to get to a few more comments here. Onor Gurkin, I probably said this way wrong, says, AI is good as it gets in any difficulty. Here the word difficulty is misunderstood. Normal setting is the general total war experience as is. When it is made easy, it gives player unfair advantages over the computer to facilitate easier gameplay. It's made hard, very hard legendary, the computer is given unfair advantages over the player so as to make the game more challenging. In short, the correct wording would be handicapped rather than difficulty. I think I agree with that statement, and good comment. Thank you. Appreciate it. That is definitely probably the better way to say it. So let's see here. Caloranus Ordo says, you are right, legendary AI is extremely dumb. Some very simple changes would make a huge difference. Ranged units in particular blob of their own accord, and can be easily made to blob as they are always on skirmish mode, which is nonsensical to say the least. I play Legendary myself because it's the hardest, but in terms of actual difficulty, it's not that bad. An interesting take, so there you go, you have someone who says that they like to play Legendary, just it sounds like that they are the kind of person that likes to be able to beat things on the hardest. There are definitely people who play the game that way, and it's curious for me to be able to hear from one of them because I don't play for that same reason. So it's nice to have some perspective from someone who does. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody who does play it that way agrees, but like I said, very nice to have the perspective from someone who definitely thinks about it a bit differently than I do. So thank you for the comment. I'm going to go ahead and fight this battle. I probably won't be able to read comments while this is going on. Let's go ahead and do this. These Everqueen's Court Guards are going to be really important for me to try and take out Be'lakor. I'm not as worried about some of the rest of the units here. We got some Marauder Horses, some Severed Claw. Bloodletters are going to be pretty good. This matchup, Demonettes wouldn't be bad. These Marauders are going to get like absolutely wrecked. There's a ton of Marauder Horsemen, so we'll have to keep an eye out on them. Be'lakor himself is going to be pretty tough character, but I've got Alistair upgraded quite a lot, and he's got a lot of anti-large. He's got a Noble on the Eagle as well, which doesn't maintain the anti-large for some reason. But still, we should be in good shape. And I have the Omen of Assyrian here, the Arcane Phoenix, so I do have a Goon Squad capable of giving Be'lakor some pretty big problems.
Fireball.
Okay, let's do this. I'm going to move here into this nice wide open position where my archers can have the best effect. Let's take our flying units up and maybe see if we can bait Be'lakor. This is something that works on the AI and the lower difficulty levels, or at least it works sometimes. I'm gonna go try it here. I'm gonna use some Melkoth Miasma on my Sword Masters. Let's get a close-up of some of the units while we're here. Here's my Sword Masters being miasma'd. I got those as allied units from Avalorn to my Sword Masters, and here's the Keepers of the Flame. We've got some sweet units. Let's go take a look at my flyers. There's Be'lakor off out in front of my Noble. And let's see, where is... I forgot to bring Alistair up. Ooh, I got a charged. Let's dodge that. I don't know if it is dodgeable. No, it's a Doom Bolt.
Brave and true.
Not exactly dodgeable.
Son of Ulthwyn.
This is interesting. We did get Be'lakor to come up. Oh, he's in range now. Yeah, he's in range. And the Everqueen Court Guard can try to unleash on him. I'm going to actually try and attack him from this side. That way it leaves him open to the shots of our Court Guard, while my Noble kind of holds him in position. Let's Helm of Discord. Do some buffs. Let's get all of our archers firing at Be'lakor here. And then let's use our other flyers to disrupt some of the incoming infantry. Let's counter-charge.
As you say.
Kind of got charged over here, but shouldn't be the end of the world.
Northern Sea Guard.
Be'lakor is struggling just to get past my Noble. We debuffed him, but he's also taking a lot of hits right now up in the air, including, I've lobbed up on the Court Guard, and I'm getting hit over here. Good thing those are Lothern Sea Guards. Let's
advance.
Make sure that I'm actually taking time to micromanage the battle. Not that I'm particularly good at micromanaging, but still need to be doing it. Okay, the Fireborn are pushing back those chariots. Excellent. And Be'lakor is getting wrecked. Alistair is assisting quite nicely here. So see, you can kind of just take a look
Orders
with...
received.
Oh, dang, man, I got crushed over here by bloodletters and spawn. So that is not good, and I did not respond properly with my Keepers of the Flame, who totally could have saved that situation from turning south against me there.
By Alariel.
Let's take these lions up here and help out. I've got another... Alright, looks like... And see, Be'lakor just stayed right here in this fight the whole time, fighting my noble. Never attempted to re-engage. Never attempted to move out of bow range. Like, didn't make any intelligent moves there whatsoever. Like, just kind of just got dumped on.
Fireball. Orders received.
Let's take this. Alright.
Awaiting orders.
I'm gonna shoot at those chariots for a minute. We cleaned up this flank. Alistair and our Arcane Phoenix. I didn't use any of my breath attacks either, which would have been quite good from the Star Dragon in this battle, so that's certainly a mistake on my part. So see, I'm not perfect either. I'm definitely not perfect, but I mean, look at me with as many mistakes as I made here. I mean, it was still pretty easy for me to take advantage of an AI that just doesn't fight very well. I have good units, and there's certain amount of, you know, like I'm strong, and it's going to be hard for the AI to kill me. That's certainly some factor here, but there's definitely a factor here of AI is just bad. I'm going to chase down this Severed Claw real quick, try and put an end to them. My Fireborn should be able to come help get rid of them. I like getting rid of some of these units so I don't have to face them immediately again. I took more casualties than I should have there, and you can see, obviously, if we came up against 2 full stacks from Be'lakor, we would be in some serious trouble. Which, this is why I made the point that I think that they should do a little bit better of keeping their armies together for safety's sake. Sometimes they move 2 armies together, but they usually don't stay together for very long. They'll get distracted going after a small settlement, and that's how I always manage to take advantage of them. Let's get some more comments here. All right, well, Regina says she's going to play Devil's Advocate. That's great. I love it when people bring a counterpoint so I can think about it, have my own points challenged. So, like I said, that usually helps you better understand your own position. So, let's see. I'm actually going to take the... Won't be much, but I'll force the labor here.
Prince of Elfwell.
We killed Be'lakor, so we're going to get extra casualty replenishment, better control in the province, weapon strength for a whole army, so that's a nice touch. We got a lot going on. This is going to be really challenging to get everything done in time because I've got Dark Elves moving in force. I've got more armies from Be'lakor in the vicinity. We need to deal with this Norskin invasion here, and unfortunately my settlement garrison is just not up to task. So I think I'm going to come back here and recruit another lord. I think last time I picked up... Well, I have Alistair. I'm thinking that I'm going to like the balance probably of... I think I'm going to go Prince with a Mage and a Noble, like for support. So let's pick a good one. I've got a lot of influence, so we should be able to pick a really nice one here. This one's got Armor Sundering attacks. That is really nice. Upkeep for archers, Silver and Guards. Wow, 25% upkeep reduction on basically every ranged unit. So that is also really good, and we're definitely going to have ranged units. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one. I mean, Dangerous also looks really good, but we have other ways of making our Prince powerful. So let's go ahead and see about recruiting a hero here. Let's well, we could get a Lore Master. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Noble because they're just a little more... Oh, here we go. There's the one we're looking for. Let's get that. Let's recruit there. And then we should be able to get another mage as well. And as far as the type of mage goes, we've got tons. I haven't had a life mage in a while, and I know that the spells are a little better, though it doesn't look like any are available. Oh no, we're at 2 of 2 on the mage. Yeah, we're at 2 of 2 on the mage. What I'll do, I need army, or I need magic in Alistair's army, but this army needs the mage probably worse right now because at least Alistair has some like capabilities. Let's go with replenish troops, weapon master, and hard to hit. Then we'll
I await your orders. I have
advise them to join that army.
answers to me.
Join this army. So we'll probably be a little bit late to save Tour of Rest the first time. We'll probably have to retake it. But what we will do is get ready for some pretty serious recruiting here. So let's start recruiting into this army.
Defender of the Ever Queen.
I can get pretty much whatever I want here. Not going to be terribly hard to have whatever. I think let's go. Let's get a couple of lions, a couple of silverin, a couple of sword masters, just to kind of vary things up. That ought to be a nice kind of variety, though. I think I'll go. Let's see, that gives me 6. I think I'll just get Sea Guard instead of having Spearmen on the flanks. Let's just grab a couple of Sea Guard. And that's a 4-turn recruitment phase right there, so I'm going to balance that up with some global recruitment. Honestly, think about what else we want in this army. We need archers, and lots of them. Everqueen, yeah, these are going to be expensive coming from global, but at least I can get a bunch of them all at once. I'm thinking like 4 of those ought to be plenty. That'll be a huge damage dealing component to this army. And then when I count my 2, that puts me up to 15, so I'm going to need a little bit more this army to kind of help round it out. Cavalry would be good. Actually, don't appear to have a cavalry facility in this province or in any of the others. Looks like, so that's a bit of a mistake. I need something to add some speed here. Dragons are an option, and a sun dragon and moon dragon are our 2 options here. Sun dragon there, and let's just kind of let this start to play out. So unfortunately, like I said, we're probably going to lose Tour of Rest because I'm busy at the moment maintaining. But what we could do is go ahead and just, I mean, we haven't really built up the Shrine of Kurnos much. Happened to these?
Prince of Elfwine.
I think I started building this stuff and then it got damaged when we got sieged and now it needs to be rebuilt or something. I don't know what's going on here. I don't even know what's happening here. It's like it's paused. I don't know if that's a screw up from where it was. Now I can't even, like, it doesn't show the building things. Like, I can't pick any of these. There's some kind of glitch going on right now in that settlement. I don't know what it is, but that's really strange. It's still going on there, so yeah, there's some kind of glitch happening there. I haven't seen this graphical glitch either, so I don't know what that is. If you all have seen it, you can let me know, but that one's new to me. We got one more for Alistair here, so let's finish Lightning Strike. Back over here to our Noble. And let's see, we've got Woundmaker, we've got the Blade Shield. Probably wouldn't hurt him to have some extra armor. There we go. And we've got Tyrion, who I wanted to get some more units for Tyrion, but this is not the best moment for it. Honestly, though, Tyrion could start heading that way to try and counter that Dark Elf invasion.
Inspecting the garrison.
So let's march Tyrion that way, because we don't have any immediate threat on our lands here. Except for maybe these Norskins, and I mean, they very well could roll in the next turn or two, but they're not looking wildly powerful. Outpost available. Let's end our turn. All right, let's get to some more here. So let's see. Did I get to Regina's comment?
Good, my sword is yours.
I did not. Okay, I didn't finish reading her comment, so let's get to it. It says, to play devil's advocate, I think the problem with the AI is a very sensitive one. Only a few months ago, Warhammer 3 AI was very good at focusing down your backline, even pathing units through your front line to get to archers you try to set in a choke point. Then there was a patch to make them stop doing that as much, and I presume it's because it made those battles too difficult for a lot of players. The logical conclusion of this, AI learns from player tactics, is that the AI starts playing like a real player, but There was a big head-to-head game we had just last week, admittedly, among high-level players that ended up with everyone just auto-resolving everything, because doing that would mean fewer losses than actually fighting the battles. I have done that myself many times, so I know exactly what you're talking about. She says, admittedly, you can say, well, just use the AI we've got for normal difficulties and special new AI for higher difficulties, but I'm not sure how easy it'd be to have what seems to me to be two completely different AIs. It's a good point. Good question. She says, point I'm trying to make is, yes, CA keeps making things more difficult by buffing and debuffing melee stats, like even when you get ambushed, and that's lazy a way to do it. But apart from having two separate AI separate AI for different difficulties, I'm not sure they could just make the AI use better tactics. So anyway, she goes on. She has more comments there, and I'll let you all read through the more of it, but I'm going to try and limit how much I go through just so I can try and get to more of it. Regina, excellent points. Thank you for playing Devil's Advocate. Thank you for the comments. Like I said, I'm not going to try and counter-argue anybody's stuff. I just want to read it so you all can consider it as well. JP says, one thing I've noticed is that the High Elves spam eagles and always rush my lord with them. Well, they do, like the AI from what you saw tends to suicide a lot of things, and eagles are actually a pretty aggressive unit anyway, and so that would actually be a fairly effective way to hurt your lord really bad. I don't know whether the eagles have the staying power staying there, but yeah, thanks for the comment, JP. Let me play a little bit here, and then we'll get back in. So here's this other Chaos Hammer. I'm just going to move up and push them back. The High Elves are moving towards our territory. We'll no doubt take the Shrine of Kurnos, which is... Oh, I was looking at the wrong settlement. What is going on here? Can I actually build if I come here? No, it's still busted. My whole settlement's busted. What is going on here? I can't use my building slots. I have to just tear down the whole... I can't vacate the settlement either. Like, I don't even know what's going on here. I've got some kind of weird glitch. Maybe the AI will take it and free me of it, and then I can take it back and have it work. That is definitely strange. I have not run onto that yet. Now, this is a save that came from the last patch. I was told that the patches are save game compatible, but possible that maybe that's not true. All right, I've got Tyrion coming across. And disembark him and run him over here as quick as we can to help counter these armies that are coming our way. Let's see, yeah, the Norskins are moving my way, so we're gonna have to hope that the defenses of Greyrock Point can hold. They might, depending on what the AI thinks. The auto-resolve's very up and down, sometimes for you, sometimes against you.
Awaiting orders. I will
see what it gives us. One way or the other, this will only be a temporary setback, which is kind of what I was pointing to earlier. The AI is doing better at the moment at sending a lot of stuff towards me at near the same time, but you'll see that even still, like, these Norskins' first thing was to take Trilenia before moving over here, which is giving me more time to react to them, and they're going to siege for a while, and again, giving me time to build and get ready to come counter them. So still not a very effective strategy on their part to, like, really leave me very highly threatened or, like, maybe in potential throes of defeat. So let's see. I think it would be good to keep having plenty of archives. Probably good to be able to have more nobles here as well, so I'll build that building that allows me to get more nobles, and I'll just go ahead and do some more work there at Val's Anvil, because I haven't given this province very much love in the last bunch of turns. Can't do anything at Trace because that settlement's broken, and then there's a lot of enemies near, so I'm not going to spend any more money there at the moment. Kothik is probably at some pretty severe risk as well, so probably best to limit my spending there. The Eagle Gate can be improved. Let's take care of that. Then I'm going to just save a little extra cash just in case the poo hits the fan here. Income from industry buildings. I believe that's like the Elven Trinket stuff. We got cultural advancements. That extra 10% campaign movement range could be pretty handy. Let's grab that. And let's end our turn here. Let's get to some more comments. Lionel Fernandez. You see, I'm keeping track of my time. Oh, okay, I think I roughly got an idea on time. I'm going to have to be done here pretty quick. All right, so Nagaron's arrived at the Shrine of Kurnos. Not surprised. I kind of saw that coming. I've just decided to move the other direction and go help, and then I'll come back north and retake all the stuff, because this stuff was taken more recently. It won't hurt me as bad to lose
I
it
am
all.
quick to anger
He
and
says, I haven't played
slow to forgive.
too many in-game scenarios, but the vampire count invasion seemed to achieve this for me. There was a consistent trickle of 2 to 3 tough armies moving together, aiming for my core regions, main armies, without it feeling like them going out of their way, only V-line my capital or something. Every time I saw them, I had to retreat and regroup before facing them. It's true, I wasn't really threatened, but it did feel like a solid challenge. Great point, Lionel. Appreciate you sharing that. I have not gotten to play against the vampire count invasion yet, so appreciate you sharing that. I like that type of play. I can say that much. Caleb Phillips says, hi, Air. Couldn't agree more. Another argument for improving AI behavior is that it would be value added for all the Total War games, not just Total War Warhammer franchise. That is correct. It's probably something they could port to some extent into other games, depending. Now, Warhammer could be quite different, obviously, and it's not going to give us the auto result
I will
here.
leave
They have a
the
lot of pretty tough Marauder units, so we're going to start losing some territory over here as well. It's okay. We'll take it back. It's only a matter of time. Like I said, all of this is just going to be mostly very temporary setbacks.
Prince.
We're going to ignore that army, plus it's out at sea. So I am going to
Ready to march.
go ahead and beeline down here to Tor of Rest and get those guys to turn around. Plus, it'll give a chance for these armies to split up and start turning their attention elsewhere, and I'll kind of demonstrate how you can end up defeating these multiple stacks, because they'll eventually get too busy for each other and kind of just start making mistakes.
away.
Let's come ashore. I like how there's parts of Lothern that are totally inhospitable,
It is
because
hot.
it's wasteland. Seems odd to have part of Lothern that's inhospitable. I could start trying to improve the Petrified Forest. We very well could lose this, and it could end up being a waste of money. But I'll try it, just in case the AI is slow to take action here. Maybe we'll be able to stop them with our other forces. Let's go ahead and just basically buzz through another turn in here.
Defender of the Phoenix Throne.
Yeah, we're about to finish our global and another turn there. Okay, let's end this turn. Let's see. Next comment comes from Jens Heike Simonson. He says, never played a Total War campaign on Legendary. I usually play on very hard, very hard. I think I might have tried a quest battle once and only once. Mostly don't like Legendary because it degrades the quality of life features and features I use to be more comfortable, like pausing or slowed time. That's a good point. It gets rid of those. And some people could say, well, that's a good change because it makes the game more challenging. It does. It does. But some people also enjoy that because the battles are really important to them. So yeah, I can see where you're coming from there. Great comment. Thank you for sharing it. Definitely appreciate it. Oh, why, Hexodal? Why? Ah, you idiots. So stupid. I hate when I mean, it's like there's chaos factions absolutely everywhere, and the lizards declare war. Like, I mean, there's a chaos faction right on the edge of their peninsula, and they declare war on High Elf faction, knowing that it's going to bring the whole house against them. There's another great example of really, really poor AI decision making there. That's absolutely stupid. Nuke says, in game 1, I'm beating a campaign on Legendary just by playing Warriors of Chaos with Kolek and auto-resolve, cheesing my way through. It's pretty sad, but whatever it takes to get me the achievement with the least resistance. Not a fan of the cheats in battle. They get very hard on higher. So there you can see someone who... Oh wow, they did just rush straight towards Petrified Force. That was the right move by the AI. It made several wrong moves right here in our face. That was definitely a right move. This is also the right move by the AI to attack before my reinforcing army gets there. So there you go. They make a couple of right moves. However, right move or wrong move, right? That caused me a little damage, cost me a little money. But see, look, they immediately retreat and give up any gains that they've made. So
Primed for action.
Here they are attacking my land, and people might, oh, you're being threatened. I'm not being threatened, because
duty.
as soon as you bring an army, they turn tail and run.
None shall
And look,
live.
Malekith was ready to steamroll me, right? Totally ready to steamroll. He splits his armies up immediately. See, now he's going 2 different directions. So this is where the AI fails. They can come and they can sneak in, they can get behind you, they can cause a temporary nuisance. They're not capable of mounting a campaign that would properly end you, and thus I really can play these with very little worry of actually being destroyed. And see, like, they didn't build up this settlement, even though they had an opportunity. They just left it
Guardian
sitting
of the Phoenix
where it would be
Crown.
easy for me to walk in and just take it right back. So again, it's very strange. I don't understand the decision making.
Champion of the Ever Queen.
I'm gonna push up here where I can challenge Malekith. He might bring both of his armies because I've kind of given myself up here in a forced march. I might be in range
It
of
is war
both those enemy
out.
armies.
You waste my time.
Yeah, we could. I may end up have screwed myself there and get myself attacked. So that was a pretty stupid move. So yeah, if I get overwhelmed on the next
Where
turn, it
to?
was totally my fault. That will be all on me. Did I build a...
The people are
I
resting.
want to say I had a cavalry building somewhere around here. Oh, I was going to put it here. And I have not built up to this one yet, so I can't get Dragon Princess. Dragon Princess is what I would really
ready.
like to have. Could look in the Allied recruitment. Yeah, they've got some silver helms. So I've got quite a bit of allegiance from Avalorn here. I could pick up a couple of silver helms with shields. Let's get those, and then I don't know if I can queue up more. Yeah, we can. So that's 3 turns. Why is it 3 turns? I clicked the wrong unit? I think I did. It's 4 turns, huh? Let's try this again. There's 2 slots. Silver Helm with Shield. Okay, yeah, I clicked the wrong one because it moved me after I did it. Silver Helm with Shield. Then Tyrannok Chariot. And Tyrannok Chariot. There we go. So it should be 3 turns. Alright, let's stack those up. That'll get me to 20. 3 turns. Retaking what I needed to there. And reissue a commandment here for some growth. I'm kind of saving money and playing things a little bit safe here. Let's get this Waystone network. Anyway, folks, I think I'm going to be out of time for now. I've made this long enough. I got to a lot of your comments. I couldn't get to all of them, but I do thank you all very much for the comments. If I didn't get to your comment, I apologize. There's just too many for me to read all in one video, but hopefully this did you all some justice and made you feel like, hey, I watched the video, I responded. Did Air take the time to read it? I did. I read every single comment on here. If you didn't get like, a heart from me or a reply, don't worry about it. I read your comment. I enjoyed all the comments, and I very much appreciated them. So I always appreciate it when you take the time to leave your thoughts, and I do read them every chance I get. And in this case, I have certainly read all of them. Anyway, wow, man, they are just crashing through me with this Marauder Champion army. That sucks, because my garrisons can usually hold off a little bit, but the Marauder Champions, not so much, so we're in a bit of a hurt. That's okay. Again, those lands over there are not critical to me, and I can always go take them back with relative ease. The AI will likely not set up any type of bastion of defense in order to hold me back. Discount Noctilus coming back in, looking for some more action. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this follow-up. Appreciate your interaction. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you soon with more.